It's John Blau, Post Courier. Dabo was saying maybe that earlier in the year you're kind of in your own head, maybe thinking too much, and then you're playing more confident at Boston College. I mean, would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. I mean, Coach Sweeney, it feels like Coach Sweeney knows me better than me sometimes. After I had those struggles with the Troy game, he was just telling me that he believed in me and that he just believes that I can be a great player for him, and I needed to just focus on being me.
What do you remember from that Troy game? Was just moving too fast, or what was it like?
Yeah, I think I let the game speed me up. Coach Sweeney always said that you can't let the game speed you up, and that's exactly what I did, which is why I had the errors that I had.
Obviously, your dad's a former NFL guy. I mean, did he have any words of wisdom for you after that first experience?
Well, yeah, he definitely did. He was telling me, he was like, everyone has to get thrown in the fire at least once to see what it's like. And he was just telling me that basically the same thing Coach Sweeney did. You can't let the game speed you up. You got to treat it like practice. And then, yeah, basically he really showed me to breathe. That's his main thing. He was like, breathe, calm down. You know what you're doing. You just have to have the technique with it.
How much did the Aaron Carter how much did the UNC and how much did the UNC game kind of build your confidence once 21 snaps against UNC?
Yeah, the UNC game definitely boosted my confidence a little bit. I mean, Coach Luke definitely gave me the opportunity to put me in the fourth quarter of that game to give me the opportunity to play more football, more game reps, more just consistent just work, I guess. And it's just like it helped me build confidence for the Boston College game just to be the next guy up.
Larry Williams, TigerHillsTrade.com. Did you have a sense going into that game with Tristan still dealing with his ankle that could be your time to get such meaningful snaps?
I mean, I always have the mentality going into any game that I can always be the next guy up to be ready for whatever. Anything could happen with anybody. So I've always have the mindset of got to be ready to be the next guy up and be locked in all the time.
You look like you were having a lot of fun.
Yeah, the game was pretty fun.
What was the most fun part? Just actually being out there by itself.
I mean, yeah, I would say that too. And then just the incredible plays wide receivers were making, tight ends were making, just everyone was making. Defense they played one of the best games they've ever played, having all their sacks, pass breakups, and stuff like that. Just a fun game to be at. I wasn't like super stressed the whole time. It was just like free, and we could play how we wanted to. And probably Wesco's catch was my favorite play of the game.
Chapel Fowler State, nice to meet you. Just patience coming into this first year, knowing that you're not going to start right away, and how have you kind of embraced the growing part and knowing that you're a big recruit out of high school, but this is a different stage, different level.
Well, my dad actually helped me a lot with that. Coming out of high school and going to college, he was telling me that he was like, yeah, you were this big recruit in high school, but he was like, I'm telling you, college is like a different beast. Like no one's bad. It's just like you can't treat anyone differently because in high school you knew, like you could tell if a team was bad by just like watching their film. But in college, I knew coming in that I was going to be back at the bottom basically as a freshman. I had to learn and change my game to fit the college level.
And footwork-wise and just agility and kind of tight spaces, how have you kind of worked on that? It seems like you're moving really well against Boston College and getting out on screens and stuff. Where does that come from?
Honestly, that's just with drills we do at practice. Coach Luke he'll have a focus each week. He'll be like, we'll watch the game film. We'll be like, we need to work on this week, and we'll focus on that some. And then, obviously we'll do everything, but we put points of emphasis on hand placement, footwork, stuff like that.
Going all the way back, your dad being a running back in the NFL, did you want to be a running back, or was there a point in time where you became a lineman, or how did your progression go there?
There was a point where I wanted to play all the positions. I was like quarterback's cool, running back's cool, wide receiver's cool. But I think it's because I hadn't embraced the fact that none of it could happen without the O-line. I'll say that I wanted to play all other positions because I felt that the offensive line didn't get enough gratitude. But now coming to college, we get just as much gratitude. Maybe not from the fans and stuff like that, but like from our coaches and other players, we get just as much gratitude as everybody else.
When did you kind of embrace being an offensive lineman? Was it middle school, high school?
It was probably high school. Like elementary school, middle school, you're just out there. You'll play whatever position your coach asks you to because you're having fun. But like high school, football didn't feel like more of a job. It definitely felt like more serious. I was getting offers to go to college for offensive line. I was like, okay, this is like, I need to lock in on this and focus and get the best as I can before I go to college.
Everybody just talks about how nice you are, but obviously on the field it switches. When did you kind of adopt that kind of, I guess, flip of the switch?
I would say it definitely was probably high school, like freshman, sophomore year. My dad was like, he basically told me straight up, he was like, you need to be mean on the field. Like, I need you to be more physical and aggressive. And that's when, like, I figured just had to flip the switch on, just on and off, just like that. Whenever I'm on the field, I'm a different person, I guess I could say.
Richmond Weaver Tiger Tailgate Show, and we're seeing Peter Woods get the opportunity of running the ball, and you were obviously celebrating the touchdown that he scored there. What about, though, any conversations that you've had with Garrett Riley and Dabo Sweeney in terms of, hey, coaches, I've got offense in my blood, running back in my blood, give me an opportunity?
Yeah, me and Coach Sweeney actually joked at the very beginning of the season that I was going to be the one running the ball in that package, but turns out we had 9 linemen on the field in that package. Cade and Peter were the only 2 that weren't offensive linemen on that package we had to score, and it was just an awesome moment. I'll say that it was just really fun because me and Walker Parks, the 2 people that we both played fullback behind Cade, we're lead blocking for Peter. Ever since we put it in, we were just super excited. Every time we get to like a 4th and 1 on the goal line, we'd be like, please just run the play.
You gave like a really emphatic touchdown symbol in front of the defender too after they scored.
That was.
What was going through your mind, I guess?
Just football celebration. Sometimes just having fun out there, just an instinct.
Just going back to your recruiting, your dad even said he didn't expect you to commit that day when you committed to Coach Luke. Kind of why did you, very suddenly get taken over by I want to commit right now rather than going through that process longer?
Well, honestly speaking, when I came to Clemson my sophomore year, I didn't even have an offer yet. But I toured here, and I was like, I was thinking in my head, I was like, this is the place for me. But I didn't have an offer yet because they have really specific recruiting rules that they follow. And once I got the offer, I felt really good. But I told my family, I was like, I really like Clemson, and they were like, well, we still want you to go through the rest of the recruiting process because you need to give every school a fair chance, which I agreed with. I couldn't just shut my recruitment down as soon as I visit one school. But basically, what made me choose Clemson that early was they also they'll take a very select amount of spots. They don't just let 90 people commit to the team at the same time. So, and they had 3 other linemen committed, and they were taking 5 that year. And I was and Coach Luke had just came in, and I had seen the production he's put in the NFL. Laremy Tunsil in specific is one of the best tackles I've ever watched, and Coach Luke coached him, and that gave me a lot of confidence to commit here and know that I could be like him one day too.
As well as Laremy Tunsil, somebody you watched so much.
It's just his technique is something that I like to study, the way he gets out of his stances and just how he plays.
Brayden, this is Mark Whiteman from WIFF. I'm just curious, your dad in his NFL career made a lot of NFL players look small. At what point do you remember being bigger than your dad and holding that over him?
It was my 8th grade year. I went from 6 foot to 6'4". I grew 4 inches that year in school. So it was really my freshman year of high school was the first year I was 6'5", and I was actually taller than my dad. And watching I'll still watch some of my dad's clips now, and it was still crazy that he was as big as he was at running back. And I guess I never really acknowledged I was bigger than him because he's always just been like my dad. I just see him. I don't really see him as this huge athletic figure. I just see him as someone who helps me with life and just does what he does.
Someone commented that you were 6'7", and you commented back that you're actually 6'8". So are you 6'8" now? Or?
I was 6'8" in that clip too, but everyone whenever people would do videos of me in high school, they would always call me 6'7". So to be honest with you, I used to not run my own social media accounts. So that comment was actually my mom leaving that comment. I didn't even leave that comment.
Anybody else for Brayden?
Did y'all get a kick out? I think it was over the summer. There's a video of you and your dad training that went like really, really viral. What was the reaction like in your family with that? Because that one really kind of went everywhere.
I mean, honestly, but like my dad, people think that my dad posts things for them to go viral. But my dad, like people don't realize that like he has 2 sons. Like he has a family of just like he just likes to post and love on and post on social media. They were training because he loves when I come home to train with me. So because he feels closer to me and it just feels like a father-son like bond. But it always goes viral because it's this NFL legend training with his son that's a freshman in college. So it's just I think it's like a name. It's like more of like a name thing.
You mentioned Brayden kind of helped you settle down during these some of these games. Just why did you kind of need that advice to kind of help you get through these first few games?
Honestly, because I used to have a huge emphasis on like my mood would depend on my performance. So if my performance wasn't like pitch perfect, it would like my whole body, I would just like shut down. Like I wouldn't let anybody talk to me. So whenever whenever we're in the huddles at start of games, I always like tell myself like I do like a little breathing exercise. It's just called like box breathing, where you breathe in for 4 seconds, then breathe out for 6 seconds, and it just helps me lock in or whatever we're supposed to do.
You do that when you like get to the field or like before you go in, or
I do that whenever I'm told I'm about to go in. I calm because like your adrenaline obviously goes high when your coach goes, yeah, you're next up. Like you shake your body and you're like, whoa, like this is like my opportunity. So you get a little nervous. So I have to do that. So I do that to calm myself down, just to come back to earth and play my game.
You've been doing that since high school.
Yeah, for the most, my senior year is when I really like adopted that method. But yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I just didn't. I guess before that I didn't have like a certain technique I did. I just deep breaths.
Anybody else for Brayden? All right, Brayden. Really appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Go ahead.